Hi, I'd just like to give you a couple of examples of what can happen when your blog is hacked and the kind of attacks that are happening to sites on a daily basis. The sheer number of attacks has increased massively over the last 18 months and is only going to continue getting worse. If you haven't been hacked yet, it really is simply a matter of time. In just one attack in March, over 160,000 sites were hacked and used to attack other sites. Now, you may not think your site is valuable to hackers, but to a hacker, every site is a valuable resource for further attacks, spreading malware and information theft. It took one expert 4 minutes to hack the Obamacare site and get access to 70,000 people's records. Recently, even the Certified Ethical Hackers Council site got hacked, and these guys are the experts. It's so bad they're now looking at legislation. The FTC is talking to Congress about having the power to fine people who let their sites get hacked. It's already starting to happen. In the UK, a site owner has been fined hundreds of thousands of pounds even though they're a charity. Right now, according to WordPress Security, 73% of WordPress sites are vulnerable to attack. Does that include your site? And now I'm going to show you what hackers do and how you can test whether your site is vulnerable. The examples I'm going to use in this video are over 18 months old simply because this is the last time any of my sites got hacked. They are still targeted every day, but since I've been using BlogDefender, none of my sites have fallen foul of hackers. And let me show you why. Now, this is actually an old site that I set up back in 2009 for my mother, chrisgarrett.co.uk, and she's never actually used it, so there's sort of an introductory post on there and that's it. So it's a very quiet blog, gets practically zero traffic, it's never been used for anything, and yet it still got hacked. It got targeted and hacked, even though there are no backlinks pointing to it, only one post, etc. Now, when I first found out this was hacked, the only reason I found out was the host told me. Obviously, it's not a blog that I'm regularly keeping an eye on, so I found out through the web hosts themselves who suspended the account. Now, here I am in the cPanel AW stats for the site itself, and we can see here chrisgarrett.co.uk, looking at September 2012. It was September that this happened in. Now, if I scroll up, you can see that generally this site gets very little traffic, 50 to 60 or 70 uniques a month, so it's a very quiet blog. As I say, there's practically nothing on there. And then in September, all of a sudden the numbers went up massively, and you can see here 7th, 8th, 9th of September, suddenly they were doing 400 visits a day, 700 visits a day, 300. That would have probably been higher again, except that's when the account got suspended. And if I scroll down, you'll see the days targeted were Friday, Saturday and Sunday, which I suspect may be deliberate, maybe an attempt to catch the webmaster out because they're off for the weekend, not working. Okay, let's scroll down a bit further and have a look at what was actually going on. Okay, here's the important bit, the page's URLs. Here's the code that's been inserted into the blog, and this looks like PP update. In fact, if I scroll down here, I think there's one that actually says PayPal on it somewhere. Can't find it now. I'm sure there's one here that says PayPal. Basically, what this looks like it's being used for is a landing page for a phishing trip to get people to put in their PayPal email address and password to grab that, steal it, and basically hijack their PayPal account. Okay, so you can see how important this is. This site effectively now will have a bad reputation. I'm going to have to put in requests with Google and Yahoo and Bing to get it re-included in the index, because it most likely will have been dropped. In fact, if we went to one of these pages, you'll see what we get is this website has been reported as unsafe. Okay, so I've tried to go to one of those URLs and it's brought up this warning message. In fact, if that's what it looks like in Internet Explorer, This is the version for Firefox. So you can see it's really not a nice screen. It gives information on why this page was blocked and basically gives the option to get me out of here. The option to ignore this warning and continue to the page is there, but it's basically tiny. And the same is true on Internet Explorer. Basically it's going to take you back to your home page. So really, if this happens, if your site gets hacked in this way and used for a phishing trip or something like this, then basically you're going to get no traffic from here on in until you get it re-included, if you can get it re-included in Google and Bing and Yahoo. So you really don't want this to happen, okay? So that's a quick look at what can happen when your site is hacked. Now let's look at another example. This is where hackers are trying to force their way in to a site using a brute force attack. Basically, they're throwing lots of username and password variations at the logins page in the hope of hitting the right combination. So let's take a quick look at a series of warning emails that dropped into my inbox to let me know that this blog was under a brute force attack. I'm going to pop across to my email box. I'm just using Outlook here, and here are some of the emails that have come in. Now the important bit here to look at is down here at the bottom. You can see that what they're trying to do is use the admin username root and a password gelzo. If we go up to another one, there'll be a different password. It's the same username root they're trying, but a different password. And if we scroll up through, you can see the lots of these coming in, all on the same day, all within minutes of each other, or within the same minute here, 10:38. You can see how fast these attacks are occurring. And if I scroll down again, you'll see this time it's still username root, but this time a different password again. So if I scroll up, let's go a bit further up. So you can see hundreds of these things are basically coming through, and it's still going for the admin username root, but another password this time. Let's scroll up again, and let's have a look. This time it's still, no, it's a different username, it's webmaster, and now it's going after the password administrator123456. This is a classic example of a brute force attack, where basically they're using automated software to try and hack the site by guessing basically the username for the admin and the password, and they have as much time as they want to do this effectively, because they have a massive list of different usernames and passwords, and they'll just run through them using automated software until they happen across the correct one. As soon as they got that, they're into your site, you've lost it, you've lost control, and the damage is done, okay? So that's just a couple of quick examples, but to check things for yourself, you can go to a site like Hacker Target, and under the online scanners choose WordPress Scanner, and you'll come up with this page where you can pop in your own domain URL to get an idea of how secure your site is and what information your site is broadcasting that can be used by a hacker to attack you. This example is a basic WordPress setup, and you can see hackers have a bunch of ways in already. They can see which version of WordPress it is, they can see which theme the site is using, as well as the admin username for their brute force attack, and they can also get access to the uploads and plugins folder so they can see what's installed and find potential vulnerabilities to exploit on your site. Why would you let hackers have all this information for free? Here's another example, and this site has been locked down using BlogDefender, and as you can see, we've hidden a whole bunch of that information from them. They can't see the WordPress version, they can't see the theme we're using, they can't see the usernames, and they can't see the uploads or plugins folder. Now that's a big improvement. Not only this, but BlogDefender will also show you how to protect your site from spammers, hackers, fake bots, botnets, data miners, and other scumbags who want to ruin your business. And that's exactly what BlogDefender shows you, in simple to follow step-by-step videos, all using free plugins and bespoke tools to make sure your WordPress site is secure. Grab BlogDefender today and learn how to lock down your site before it's too late.